Welcome to Reading and Writing Between the Lines, a podcast series about communication skills in the workplace. I'm your host, John Witzman. Join me as I speak with industry professionals and Conestoga faculty and alumni to explore their journeys with reading and writing skills. Follow us as we talk about how communications learning has changed over the years, how these skills are used in a wide range of industries, and the future of workplace communications. Which brings us to the current time that we're in, where we've got technological devices all around us. We're kind of constantly in communication via text or email. And now we've got generative AI thrown into the mix. What do you see on the horizon? How are these communications technologies filtering into the work that you and your colleagues do?
Well, to be honest, I haven't experienced anything like it yet. I don't know too much about it apart from what I read in the news and through our brief conversations about it. But
that's interesting.
It is.
It's almost like there's a little pocket of society that's still protected from it, right? Because when you're dealing with this particular building project and this particular material and this problem that is specific to this job site, ChatGPT doesn't know about that yet.
No. And I mean, it can cook up a whole lot of different scenarios, but is it applicable? Absolutely not. At least you hope. Because then I might be out of a job.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, it's certainly something that is in the news and it's on everybody's minds. Is this technology going to help us in our field? Is it going to replace us in our field? Is it going to hurt us in our field? But it's kind of amazing and ironic and maybe a little bit surprising too that a field like project management might be one of the areas where human writing and human communication is thriving.
Yeah,
still.
Absolutely. Crazy to think about that, eh? It's in terms of longevity, it's really, really promising and makes me feel good, to be honest.
Yeah. Although perhaps there are some project management students listening to this thinking, oh, shoot, I thought that I was, I had just arrived at the right time and that I was going to have these skills taken care of for me.
I don't know what to say about ChatGPT. What is it, GPT?
ChatGPT, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it yet. I think it's, like you said, it's exciting and it's new and it's different for sure, but I don't know, like we were saying before off air, when it's when something just makes something up out of thin air,
right?
How can you rely on something like that, right? Even though the writing form might be, Nobel Prize winning, but at the same time, if they're just pulling facts that aren't real, or I guess that's kind of counterintuitive.
It is facts that aren't real. I think that's something unique to our time.
Right.
But I know exactly what you're talking about when you're talking about facts that aren't real. Can you imagine certain writing products or being more susceptible to this stuff? Maybe RFPs.
Yeah, that's a great call. Yeah, proposal writing for sure. Scope outlining, especially if it's. And again, I'm totally ignorant as to how ChatGPT works, but if you just, you could say maybe, building A, building B, building C has this, and go.
Right.
Let's see what happens, right? But again, what if they create something like a solar eclipse that happened at this time that never actually happened? Or
right. What if there's hard water in the region and that's going to affect the soil? Who knows?
Exactly. And how can you factor all that stuff into it? You can't, right? And there's so many things that happen on the fly and on the go where you actually have to have the human interaction and the eyes or the boots on the ground to make those decisions, right? That can't, AI can't support it, I guess, is what I would say.
Can you imagine, are there parts of your job that you wish you could sort of outsource to intelligent robots?
Yeah, I guess so. It's a good question. I've never really thought about it that way, how much easier some things would be. But just kind of mundane emails back and forth that you just are kind of just, you have to deal with kind of thing. But you just, it is what it is. And I'm sure everybody goes through it. As a professor, you go through it and, things like that. But apart from that,
And yet those are the reps, right? Those are the reps that you were talking about that
Absolutely.
gained experience.
Absolutely. And again, like you said, like knowing when I can just send a one-liner or when I actually have to structure an email or a letter or anything like that, a proposal, RFP, scope of work, all that stuff.
And that marks the end of another episode of Reading and Writing Between the Lines, a podcast hosted by me, John Witzman, on behalf of the Communications Department and School of Interdisciplinary Studies at Conestoga College. You can find other episodes of this series on our YouTube channel, Reading and Writing Between the Lines. Stay tuned for more episodes. Thanks for listening.